Hi guys, welcome to the video number 341, and in this video we are going to actually discuss three questions on the loops, and they are very perfect from the interview perspective. And so I'm going to actually walk you through all these questions one by one, and we are going to have a very good understanding of the loops. Now, they are not the basic videos. You are supposed to know the loops. At least you should be comfortable with with the loops actually. We write them and what are the syntaxes, just in case if you don't have any idea. And also I'm trying to answer to your queries, because yesterday only I got actually 3 comments on my channel, and you have asked me that if you want to learn the Excel VBA, then what is supposed to be done. Right now, guys, if you're looking for the YouTube channel learning, you can go here, and otherwise you can go to my website also, which is excelvbalover.com. You can check out the training content which I actually take online. But otherwise, if you want to stick to the YouTube channel, then this is the list. First thing which you just need to do is you to actually watch this Excel VBA introduction series. There are the 10 videos. Please watch all those amazing videos. Right, they are all the basic videos. You must know them before you go and watch any further playlist. If you are through with this, then you need to do is somewhere here you will see the Excel VBA loops, right? So you can scroll it down, and somewhere here you would find the Excel VBA loop. Excel VBA loops. Let me just scroll it down. Yeah, that's the one. Right, when you click on this, what you need to do is there are 25 videos, and don't start randomly. Right, go by the title. Now, for example, you can see here we have some part 6, part 8, part 7, part 5, part 4 videos, and if I just move it down, you get to see the basics. And so watch first these all part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and so on, and then you can watch all these videos, because they are extremely advanced level of the videos. Right, what else you can do then? After you watch this, you can go and check out the Excel VBA collection loops. Right, that would be somewhere here. That is also the another part of the collection loop. The loops actually, you must know that. And then you can watch Excel VBA function series, right, which is this. I've talked about how to create the functions and couple of the VBA functions, like the VLOOKUP, and there are some other functions as well, date and time. All we have discussed in this playlist. Then you need to also watch this Excel VBA file handling. This talks about the folder part, text file, how you can get the text files, how you can read the text files, how you can overwrite them, all that stuff, how you deal with the folders or the text files. Folders means if you have a files in your D drive, E drive, whatever, and you want to pick up the files from there and you want to save it somewhere. Right, similarly, you need to watch this Excel VBA charts and the pivots, and then you can watch Excel VBA arrays, and then you can watch Excel VBA user forms. I have talked about almost all the controls, the useful controls, and the mandatory tools which one require in the user form. For example, text box, I've talked about check boxes, option boxes, list boxes, combo boxes, command button, everything is there. Then you can go for the another part, like Excel VBA connecting PowerPoint with Excel, or Excel VBA connecting MS Access from Excel, or a couple of more. For example, you can watch this Excel VBA deal with the workbook sheet handling also. So this is how you can start the things. So I wanted to give you this because a lot of you must be watching, and you must be thinking there are 340 videos of how to start. So this is how you can start. Right? Let's get back to the question. Now, this is what exactly we're going to do in this video. You see here, it says that please use loop to find out the maximum value in the table 1. Now, this question actually was put out by one of my students in my online class, and I really like it. I thought that this can be a perfect example to check somebody how good actually he or she is in the loops. So you can pause the video and you can run it, and you can come back and see the solution. If you're able to do it, bingo, big thumbs up to you. And if you're not, come back and see how you can make this loop. So what we want to do is, basically this loop is going to do the comparison, the loop which you are going to do, and we will be able to find which value is the maximum value. So my idea is, I'm going to compare first of all this cell with this cell. And if let's say if the cell which is this cell is going to be greater than this, then I'm going to use this. Otherwise, I will use this for the next comparison, which I will do with the 100 and 400, and then 400 and 445. So every time the comparison happens, we are going to keep the maximum number with us, and that maximum number is to be compared with the next value. That's it. Right? So let's go to the developer tab, guys, and let's hit on a Visual Basic. Click on the module and there we go. So we're going to write here the program. So I'm going to use the for next loop. So we'll start with the question number 1, which is question number 1. And don't forget to watch my all, I think there are 35 videos on Excel VBA Access interview questions. Just go and click that playlist. You will find it, these 25, 20, 30 videos on Excel interviews, on VBA interviews, Access interviews, and Access VBA as well. So we're going to start this like in this way. I'm going to declare dim I as long, and what I will do is I will have to run this code how many times. First of all, I will decide that. So I want to run this loop from the second position to I want to go to the 8. Okay, so I'll make it 8. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this loop should run first of all, from 2 to 8 times. So if you run it 2 to 8, that means you're going to run this 7 times. And so this loop is going to run. Loop is going to run 7 times, right? Okay, now why I'm using 2, why I'm not using 1? Well, you can use the 1 as well, but then you will have to adjust your code, and I'm simply write it in a very simple way. So let me tell you, because I start actually with the second row, so I like to keep it as 2. Now there is another variable which I want to write, which is store, and I'm going to write it as a long. The store would start with the 0 first of all, and this is actually the variable where we are going to store the maximum value. Okay, now the first thing which I want to do is I want to write the if condition here, guys. I want to compare this store. If this store value is greater than the value which I have in the I and the column number 1. Now you know that I is what? I is basically, it will start with the 2. So you're going to capture the 100 here. Now you know that if the store is going to be greater than this value, then I would like to keep the value as store equals to store. Right? Let's keep that value for the next comparison, right? But what if you don't have that value greater than that, this value which is cells I comma 1, which would be 100 when the first time the loop runs. Obviously you would like to capture that value, which is greater than the store. So you would write here store equals to cells and then comma I and then 1 dot value, right? Else well, nothing. That's it. And if, right? Now this looks very simple. If you would have paused the video and you would have tried to think on that, I can bet on that it's not that so easy. But this requires your 5 to 10 minutes to think on this kind of a stuff, right? But anyways, I mean, if you can crack it within just maybe seconds, a big thumbs up to you guys. That means you are perfect. You're a great programmer. I personally took, I think, 5 to 10 minutes to make this logic. Anyways, so now we are going to run this. Now you must be wondering, just in case you haven't got it, I'm going to simply put the watch. We put the watch code so that we can keep an eye on this, and this is also very much required. So I'm going to put watch code on this, select this, right click and put watch here, right? There we go. Now I'm going to run the code. The first time when the code runs, you know that the value in the I is going to be 2. So when you run this code, what happens? Deliberately you started the store as 0. So obviously this condition is never going to be satisfied. We know that, and this I am doing it deliberately because the first comparison should take 200. As simple as that. And then from the 200 we will do the further comparisons. You see that I have a value called 200 and store is 0 is absolutely not greater than 0. So it will go in the else mode. So if I run this now in the else mode, so that's what I'm saying. If you're not greater than, then I don't need you. Now replace me with the value is greater than, this value store, which is greater than me. So what will happen? This store is now going to get this value. It's going to absorb this value is 200. So now you have the 200. The next time when the loop runs for the third time, this I becomes 3, and 3 is I'm going to use here. You know that this store is now 200, and 200 is now going to be compared with the next value, which is 100. And you know that 200 is greater than 100. So obviously we would like to keep that value only, and that is what I'm trying to do here. The then mode store will remain same 200. So now we'll go next. And in the next also, again, 200 is going to be compared with the next value, which is 400. So 400 is absolutely greater than, we all know, it's greater than 200. So it will go in the else mode. And now in the else mode, it will capture that value, which is 400. So now store is changed from 200 to 400. Next time, when you're going to run this, have a comparison between 400 and 445. 445 is the next value. So simultaneously what we are doing, we are very smartly actually increasing the one value, and the another value completely depends upon if it is a then case or if it is a else case. From there it may change or it may not change. It will depend upon the if condition. Now in this case definitely it will change because your value is 445. So what I'm doing, simply going in the else and I'm saying that now pick up that value. So this is going to be, now you see here, 445. Similarly, next time the comparison happens, now you have the comparison 445 and 900. So 900 will be there. So I go again in the else and I capture that 900. Now store is to 900. Next time when you run this, 900 is not greater than 900 is greater than actually 443. So we'll like to keep that value as 900 only. This is really very cool, right? So that's how this program will run. And at the end of the loop, and right here message box, you can write here the highest value is stored, or maybe you can print it somewhere. That's all up to you, right? So there we go, guys. We have the 900, right? Just to test the program, if I just make it this, let's say 8994, and I'm gonna hit on F5. Let me quickly run this. 8944. This is perfect. This is a wonderful loop. Go ahead and let's check out the second one. So based on the values, create a loop which can create the sheets by their name. Okay, so we want to actually run the loop which can create the sheet, these sheets actually for us, having a name called black, white, and red and blue. So in order to do that, let me insert the one more module, and I'll write here create the sheet. So again, you can use the for loop. So I can write here dim I as integer. And then we're going to start for I equals to, what is your last value? 1 to 4. So in case we want to make it dynamic, you can write here, instead of the 4, you can write here that range, from the range a, let's say 1000 dot end XLR. So from the 10,000, the code will, your cursor, your cell, first of all 1000 will be selected, and from there we are going to use the control up arrow, and it is going to take you to the row number of that cell. Control up arrow, I hope you know that, right? Control up arrow actually is a shortcut key. When you use that, it takes you to the last filled value. Whenever it finds there is something written over there, it skips all the blanks and stops there. So guys, this is the for next loop, and now what we want to do is I want to create the sheets. So the first thing which you will do here, you will add the sheets. This is how we add the sheets. I hope you know this commands, right? So when you add the sheet, you want to do before or after you want to add. So say I want to actually add the sheets maybe after the sheet called 2. So you can write here after. This is how you can write after. This is just the parameter, and then you will have to write the sheet name. So I'm going to write the sheet name, which is sheet, and then the sheet name is 2. So I'm going to write 2 and then dot. That's it. I think that's fine, right? Okay, so this should actually add the sheet after the sheet 2, and okay, so we have some problem here. Sorry, the dot operator. Now the active sheet which you're going to add, that should hold that name. So the name is going to be equals to cells, and you can link it with this I value. Okay, I, and the column would remain as 1. So I would be coming from here, and we'll have the black sheet there. Okay, then further the loop will further go and keep on adding the sheets, and this is how we can make the code. So let us go ahead and run the code. You can see that it is added after sheet 2. If you add before, then it will add the sheet before the 2. You simply need to write here before colon and equals to. Now the active sheet name has to be equals to this value, which is cell I and 1 comma 1. You see guys, what will happen if I run this code, you will get the error. So this is a good practice we are doing. This is a good learning, and reason is right now you added the sheet, your selection becomes this. I is what? You know that I is 1, right? So I1, it looks the value in the current sheet. So you will have to ensure that it should always be used with the sheet 2. So that's why I'm going to write here the name of the sheet, and then I'm going to prefix it here. In this way, this will never actually pick up the value from any current sheet, active sheet. This always goes to the sheet 2 and going to pick up that value. So if I run it now, you see that the black sheet is inserted, right? So sometimes it is very important to refer the cells with the sheet command. Sometimes it may not, that depends. Now next, now we're going to add one more sheet. So we will have the sheet again added. Now this time this is going to be the I2, and you know that in the sheet 2 the I2 was different. So you have the white, and then again you have the red, and then the last one the blue, and enter. Simple as that, guys, right? So this is really cool, right? So that was a simple one. Now this is the one this is another question which is saying you got to create a macro which should add these values and gives the sum in the message box. So basically we're looking for a loop which can add all these numbers. Okay, so in this again I go to the Visual Basic window, and so what we will do, we will make a loop, and using loop for sum. For any text which we are seeing here, that should be ignored. That's what target is all about. So first of all, you declare I as, let's say, integer. For I equals to 1, 2. This time I'm just writing it as 1. So now what we need to do is I'm going to actually hold the number here. So we're going to write here if, let's say, the value in cells, which is I, comma 1 dot value. Okay, that is a number. So we're going to write here a function. You can write the function worksheet function and dot class, which is number, or I guess it's, I think, in the string class, strings dot is number is text. We got to see it. I don't know where it is. So we can do one thing. I'm not going to use the Google, guys. Do this object browser. That's a wonderful dictionary. Just right here, do we have any function with this name is numeric? Let me press OK. So the function is a member actually of class called information. All right, is numeric. Well, that's a new thing for me. Is numeric. Okay. So, and do we have any function called is number? Because this is what we have in the Excel. Yeah, that's there, and that's what actually I was trying to find, is number. So that's a function. You see, this worksheet function class, you have all these functions, guys, like in the Excel you have, right? So these are all the VBA functions which you can use. You can learn from there also, right? Like, when you click on this FX, you get to see all the Excel functions, right? I hope you know that. You need to change this to all. You have all the functions here, right? A lot of functions. I mean, these confidence. Oh wow, I never know that there is some function confidence as well. Function is available for compatibility with Excel 2007 and earlier. Returns the confidence interval for a population. Well, I don't know what is it. So let me just leave that. But anyways, I was telling you that when you go to the Visual Basic and you click on this, prompt sign, it's called the object browser. It also can tell you these, the classes. Under these classes, you have all these functions. So let's go ahead and use the is number. I'm going to use. It doesn't come, so I'm going to write worksheet function dot is number. Yeah, that's what is there. And now I'm going to use the value. Value comes from I, and it is going to be this. So I'll put the if condition. If it is a number, if it is equals to true, then what we need to do is then I think we should write the quote here. Okay, and okay, so what is the problem? If worksheet function is numeric dot value equals to true, maybe I think you don't require the true part. By default it says. We'll see to that anyways. What is the issue here? I would like to store that value, so you can use again the store variable, and you can write here cells, and I got the problem. What is the problem actually? So you write here I and then comma 1, and you will have to add this with the store value. Okay, else don't do anything. That's it. And at the end of the function, I mean when this loop runs, we would like to get the value message box. So I can write here answer is, and then you can join it with the store. Okay, I'll just explain you. I think I forgot to put the bracket here. That's it, right? Because is number, you need to to close bracket. Yeah, there we go. The error, but anyways, so good learning. You know that sometimes these small things irritate you a lot. Okay, so I declare the store as well long. Now what I'm doing is basically when the store variable will start, it will be empty. So you can add anything in the empty, the value will not be impacted, as simple as that. So guys, I'm saying when we are going to start, this is going to be compared, which is no. So when I run this, invalid qualifier. Okay, so what is wrong here that we need to see? Okay, so I think the bracket should not be here. If this goes with this and this actually comes here, maybe this one. Let me run this. F8. That's it, guys. Good one. Because first cells 1 dot value syntax should be written. I cannot change that, and then you can close this bracket. Okay, good learning. So now you have a value which is a 5. Is it a number? Of course it is number. So now the then part is going to be executed. In the then part, store is already empty, so we would like to add this 5 plus 0. So now the store becomes 5, ready to have this value, the next number. This can be added. And if next, now next is not a number, know that it is R, so it should go in the else mode. Perfect. And then next value is 43. This is going to give me the 43 because this is on the third row. Now this time, that store is already 5. I've taken that value from the previous loop, and then the new value is going to be added, which is 43, which makes it now store as 48. So you keep on running the loop like this, and you will have your answer finally 106, which makes a lot of sense, right? So if you're going to crack these things, I'm sure you will be selected for your interview. And otherwise also, I mean, if you just are looking for some interesting loop questions, then that's it, there is. And don't forget to watch the Excel VBA other series as well on the interviews, because they also have actually talked about some of the very fantastic loops. Well, that's it for now, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, guys. Support me and leave your comment, and don't forget to click on the like if you like the video. I will be coming back with some another exciting stuff very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.